So, of course, there's a lot on mine. Um, Definitely some triggering stuff. Honestly, every time I see what is it, a suicide watch, like, what is it, jacket or cloak or whatever, on anybody, I'll be like, oh my God, it's almost like traumatized. Because that's what they put on me last year around this time. What am I, like 7 days, a week shy of when they detained me and, of course, locked me up or whatever. Um, Instead of letting me come back home to my children, and then that just like it just try to turn my world upside down. But I've seen the Suicide Watch um cloak or whatever the name of it is, I don't know, on the guy Daryl Brooks, who the allegations are that he plowed down the people at the Waukesha Christmas parade. And of course, now they're saying a sixth person has died. One of the children, I think an 8-year old boy or something like that. And I just got triggered or whatever by seeing that because okay, he's on there for allegedly killing these people with a vehicle. I was in there and had suicide watch because I wouldn't give them my information. Um, and they stated that's what the policy says you have to do. I wouldn't give them my name or anything like that. Like, and I wasn't even supposed to be arrested. Definitely, detained. I barely feel like I'm supposed to do that either. Supposed to be detained and like literally detain me for 8, 9 hours, a full work day or whatever. And so I'd be triggered about that because Lord knows the whole thing that got me in there. I definitely asked God to been asked God to save me, and so I believe and trust for that. But was asking God to resolve this thing last year because I was still having feelings for somebody that wasn't physically here, and out of that, this is what came about. It was like, on the day that I asked for resolve, I went somewhere, and it's similar to, but not the same, similar to how I went somewhere else, another location that this dude was at. And yeah, I mean, and before he's asked me to save him, so I guess the deeper thing of it was he was wanting to know how to be saved and live a safe lifestyle and stuff like that. And I remember it was a dream about it, and I was telling him, well, essentially you got to repent and you got to trust God. And so, hold on. I had a slight technicality real quick, but anyway, I was telling him that or whatever. And so, I guess he saw that in me. Then I seen something today that said the a narcissist wants the energy of a chosen one and stuff like that. Lord, that like kind of popped out at me. I'm like, oh Lord, this is what's been going on. But cause honestly, I'd be feeling like, I feel like looking back sometimes, some of the stuff that I learned from him, like you could be a chosen person too. You know what I'm saying? You got some wonderful qualities about you or whatever. But anyway, I'm not gonna go into deep about that. Because the thing is about, you know, from that day, July 13th, 2020, when I asked God for resolve, and then of course I realized the 13, the my daughter was turning 13 that year, and then 13 just kept on coming up, coming up, coming up, and it had came up from the fact, the as far as I know and can look back is where his deceased mom, that was her birthday, and then the girl, of course, his mom dead, but the girl reached out to me on the 13th. It's like, superstitious stuff already because 13 is supposed to be the unlucky number, and the fact that it was a dead lady's birthday, period. Like she wasn't living anymore, she was dead. And so that's why I seen the 13 start showing up for me. Unless it's somewhere I'm missing it. But But God did tell me to start paying attention to dates and stuff like somewhere around that time. And so that's where it goes. And, that's as far back as I can think of is when in 2018, after the lady died, it started popping up. So some type of witchcraft, some type of, something with that. And I'm just like, and some type of sorcery, of course. And I'm just like, oh my God, I ain't got time for this. Um, so, yeah, then my daughter's dad started paying 13 or 213 or something like that. $13 every time. And me and him actually, I think we met up on the 12th, not the 13th. I don't know. I have to look back, but I think it was the 12th that we met up at the mall for him to be for him to see our daughter and stuff like that. And it's a lot surrounding that. And again, all of this is just it's triggering. Um, Once I talk about one thing, I kind of get like this, yeah, kind of a sense of PTSD and just like feel like jumping to so many other things that I feel like have to do with that. But yeah, so that's when I seen the 13th. And of course, like earlier this year was January 13th, which is honestly it's the day before his that's the day before his deceased mom's mom died in 2019. So that following year, or whatever, after her daughter she died, and I mean it's just so much. It's just so bothersome. So yeah, but that's where that came from, and then I'm trying to think. January 13th, then and then just after that, always something around the 13th, the 12th or the 13th, it tries to something try to come up. And I know it sounds like I'm saying a bunch of nothing, but I'm really getting at something. So yeah, so yesterday I seen this word that I want to come into agreement with and I want to receive for my life, because I had just described, it was like alignment and confirmation for me that I seen this word. I'm gonna say confirmation first and I say alignment later. But, hold on, let's see. But yeah, with all this metaverse stuff going on, I tell you. So, I mean, and I know what the word said, but I just still want to look at it myself. Okay, I just seen something that caught my eye. I'm gonna read it in a minute, but some word says, "Welcome to the season that your life is about to inform your spectators. Report back to your headquarters. I'm not crumbling." That's funny to me, but yeah, whoever y'all be reporting to, because I'm like, y'all out here reporting to the wrong ones. Baby, if you're not reporting to God about me, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, you not talking to the right one. Because that's not who we answer to, other people. She said you should be flattered. Their fight is an indication they know you're winning. That right there, I don't really feel. Welcome to the city, but I better look at it. No, I don't want. That's not it. Hold on. I know it's got to be somewhere. Ain't that the truth? But I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just scrolling on through. to see exactly where it is. It can't be far because I just seen it. Like, excuse me. I'm relaxed. That's all that is. God just said, don't worry about the battle. He is walking you around their plots and into his plans. Amen to that. Because one thing about it, I be walking straight around my house, away from that camera, and hopefully I am walking into, not hopefully, but walking into the plans of God and into the will, continuously in the will of God. There is power in prayer, absolutely. Two missionaries released in Haiti after group kidnapping. Okay, I got to it. As of November 21st, 2021, it said, so this was 2 days ago. God is going to heal you in the places that still trigger you. And like some of this stuff that started triggering me happened last month. Some of this stuff happened a year ago. Some of this might have happened 10 years ago. But yeah, yeah, I come into agreement quickly. Give God all the glory because I need that in my life. I'm telling you, I want that in my life. Uh, and I just think that's so awesome. So about that triggering stuff, like yeah, there's so much stuff. See him with that suicide jacket on. It's just it tried to like distraught me all over again. Especially again it's a week shy of when they put that on me. And then the funniest part is in the mugshot picture, they cover it up. Now I see them wearing theirs in there, but they covered mine up. And a lady, one of the officers even told me, she was like, "I know you're not suicidal, so I don't want you to go through this, but it's the policy that." And so and this is a black woman, and that's why I just be like, honey, I don't get into Black Lives Matter and stuff like that because these black folks working in these places, they know stuff is being done wrong or they know it's not fair and they still um they being a pawn used to do something where somebody's gonna be treated unjustly and unfairly. So I'm just like, yeah, I can't. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. I don't get into that. I've definitely met white people that treated me better. I do be still getting a tinge of like they're uncertain or unsure or some people. Some white people I ran into, they really do seem genuine, like they really do care. But I don't know if they don't, they putting up a good front. Of course, I ain't got to go home with them. I ain't, what I'm saying, I'm not all that, whatever. I'm not all up in their business and in their everyday life and stuff. So you never know. But God knows, and I just leave it at that. And I just honestly, I've liked the treatment that I've gotten from them at times, oftentimes, rather than what I've gotten from black folks. And I don't feel like it was them trying to put me up on a pedestal, looking at me like I'm higher because I'm black. No, because honey, I don't want nobody to feel inferior just because of my skin color or anything like that. But anywho, um, I just want people to live in righteousness and yeah, definitely peace and stuff. So anyway, that whole case about that man doing that is just, I mentioned before, it's just something satisfying to me about it. But I don't know, of course in his mugshot or whatever, he was looking crazy, his eyes all wide and this and the third. It's just a lot going on. He got his head down, you could just see his body language and stuff. Um, so I don't know what emotions he feeling. Of course, they didn't set his bail at $500,000. I mean, not 500. That's 500,000 he'd have to pay to get out. That's the 10%, but it's $5 million given the circumstances and the judge who is I guess it's Kevin Costello or something like that. He mentioned how two of his officers gave up new information and said that um it seemed as if the guy just intentionally wanted to hit somebody and he swerved into there. He missed cars and he intentionally wanted to hit and kill somebody. So they definitely trying to whatever it is they trying to do. Um, Lord, I think I just too feel like the courts be manipulated by when they tell you we want everybody to remain in order and keep your composure, and if you feel like you can't handle it, step out. Because I just feel like, of course, they don't want no outbursts in the courtroom, and you don't. I'm not saying you need that, but I don't know. It's just another way to keep people silent if they really did have something to say about somebody being treated unfairly. And there is a way to do it. There is order. There is somebody you go to. Like one of them told me last year. You go to your congressman if you feel like it's not fair. This, that, and the third. Of course, congressmen sometimes are made up of course, some white supremacists or people that are corrupt. Let me just leave it at that. I don't want to do a race thing, but people that are still corrupt. So it's like, who else do you turn to besides the Lord? Who else do you turn to besides the one that created us, that designed this whole thing, and that knows how it's supposed to work? So that's for me. That's for me in my house. We gonna serve the Lord. Period. And so that part. Um, Trying to think, was my hair like up? In my dream I had this morning, was my hair up like I used to wear it, like in a bun or whatever. But anyway, not in a bun, but a pony puff thinker, majigger. But yeah, what was I gonna say? So yeah, that was that. Then at the start of the session, because this was Daryl, his initial court appearance since that happened, and they got him in there so quick. 2 days later. But yeah, the judge also, Kevin Costello or whatever, he was saying, no recording in here. And when he said that, I just took that as, oh, they still able to bring their phones in there, because where the location I'm at, no phones. The other place, from last year that I was at, was no phones allowed in the courtroom and stuff like that. So I'm just like, oh, okay, wow. And oh, excuse me. And that triggered me, of course. So that's what I'm saying. That word about everything that's been triggering me, like that was so specific, because I think I even said outside like 2 days ago before I seen this, and I just said I'm triggered. Like even sitting outside by seeing certain people, so-called next door neighbors, and they so-called grandkids or whatever, and just like, it triggers me so much that it just almost made me want to throw up. And I just be like, or feel like I want to throw up, whatever. And just to try to get that bad taste out of my mouth and out of wherever else it's trying to be lodged at. But yeah, what else was it I had to say? So the phones or whatever. And so that just reminded me, of course, got detained, but about phones and stuff not being welcome in the courtroom, and I didn't have anywhere to put my phone. It just didn't, you know what I'm saying? So it was something or whatever. Um, Also thought about this tonight. My boys' dad told me, like, when we first got that enacted, like we used to could take our phones in the courthouse. So probably about 2012, 13, 14, somewhere around there, they started putting up the sign, no phones and stuff allowed in the courthouse. And where I'm at, they put little lockers outside the courthouse just in case you need to leave your stuff. Of course, it's another way to make money. They charge you 25 cents for the little locker or whatever. And he had told me before, because I had a court date, he had told me, don't take your phone, don't take your phone. And just the way he said something, he might not give you the details or tell you, what it says, or like the sign up there says no phones in there. He just was like, don't take your phone in there. And then I think he said it, he just repeated again, don't take your phone in there. Instead of telling me, they have signs and stuff posted out there, giving me the details. And so, it felt like a form of concern, but then all at the same time, it feel like, damn, in the same breath that the concern is given, is taken away. And that constantly reminds me of a double-minded man is unstable in all their ways, because it's like you you concerned about it, but you don't want me to know the details of. And it's almost like, don't worry about it, but that's just me coming up with my own assumption, feeling like maybe he's saying don't worry about it, when in fact he really just like, I gave a damn about you a few minutes ago to tell you enough. Don't take your phone, but now I don't give a damn about you. You take it if you want to, or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's like, do what I say, or I don't know. It's just, it's some depths to it. And so Then turn around to, again, what is that, 4, 5, 6 years later, go to this courthouse and get detained basically for the same thing. Like, this just came up tonight, me thinking about that. Getting detained for the same thing that he told me not to do then. Um, so again, it just takes that connection back to him, or back to words that he spoke to me or whatever. Nobody else spoke this or told me this. He told me. And it like, it frustrates me so much. And of course, deeper triggers, of course, all that, whatever. Just honestly, it kind of just makes me so upset. And I want to say angry, but you just be like, it's just like, it's something that I really can't describe. It's definitely disappointing. It's like, man, don't let me know that you are not. Don't I don't want to say don't let me know, cause shoot, I need this stuff to be exposed. Ain't no need of me trying to lie to myself and be in denial. But I just wish that you was not like that. Like, what what type of person are you? And before I deemed him an amazing person, or having a lot more amazing things about him than not. But I don't even beg to differ right now. I just say, it's like grief. It's like it brings me grief to talk about it, to think about it. It's like, how can somebody be like that? Like, what? And it does make you, what happened in your childhood? What happened to you? And it's similar to, like, my grandma is similar sounding anyway. Like, my grandma used to say, I didn't know you was gonna grow up to be like this, but you're the one that took part in raising me. So, and a lot of, more often than not, I was over at my grandma, this person that was speaking that over me. But I'm somebody that's an outsider. I didn't take part in molding this man like this and stuff like this. What I did in his life, I was encouraging and like, come out of that. And what I'm saying, what's going on with you? Speaking of my deceased late grandma, I think back to where the so-called stabbing incident, or assault with deadly weapon inflicting serious injury incident from years ago happened. And of course, I talk about it in some of my videos. I don't know which one. So, if you ever want to go back and listen to all of this, it's not mumbo jumbo, but all of me, all of my my talking, my speech and all that, go ahead. But I was over at her house when it happened. And and when when the whole incident played out. And like, yeah, my mom, the woman who's, again, gave birth to me, she wasn't raising me. But I just, when I was younger, I didn't feel the difference or pay attention to the difference, because I was still feel like I was being taken care of. I wasn't homeless. I didn't have, it wasn't that I didn't have clothes and stuff. I was still eating. I had peace. I had my own room at this location that my grandma was staying at. So my mind be like, was y'all trying to save me, or was y'all trying to kill me? Like, or was y'all trying to, cause me to self-destruct, or what? What is it? Like, I go back and forth, and literally that's where I'm at. And I just need God to continue to give me a healing touch and help me to understand and comprehend what it is, that He wants me to know. Because then I look at the abortion thing, and I'm like, okay, you wanted me to kill my baby, but you raised me, you encouraged me to kill my baby and stuff like that, but you raised me, well, to allow the doctors to kill my baby, because I didn't kill my baby. But um but you also raised me. I just I just didn't understand. Until this day, it's still like a cloud or a ball of confusion that tries to linger. And my grandma is deceased, so don't have to worry about those things ever being spoken to me again. Of course, I can remember the words that she said, but I try not to let them resonate with me. But I ain't forgot. Um, but the one who gave birth to me, she's still living, and of course, I don't wish no death on her or anything, but I just want my peace and my sanity, and I want my fair chance at life without all that drama and stuff like that. And if anybody like her, or just anybody that tried to previously try to damage me or get me to self-destruct, if they would, yes, repent and turn from their wicked ways, and genuinely be able to encourage me to be healthy and build me up and stuff like that, then I think that would be a good thing. But of course, given the event that may never happen and probably will never happen, I just want God to continue to heal me and all that good stuff. You know how some people say, take all the pain away, take all that frustration and stuff away. But he was definitely dealing with me continuously. Even last night, I think I had a hard, and I don't usually have a hard time sleeping, but I had a hard time sleeping because, some spiritual stuff try to come, tamper about it, whatever. I just woke up just staring, looking crazy, like literally looking crazy, acting. I ain't saying I'm acting, but just seemingly like I didn't know what to do, but I should know, and I know to call on the Lord, period. When you're dealing with stuff like that, because the enemy he don't be letting up. Also had a dream about me and my youngest son being outside, and there was a bear like in the tree. Um, pull up something too while I'm talking about that, but there was a bear in the tree, one of the trees in my backyard. Um, it was a black bear, I believe, and it's so funny because I seen a bear get electrocuted. A bear climbed up on a power line, and he got electrocuted. This was on a YouTube video, and I seen that today, so it kind of reminded me of that too as well. And it definitely makes me feel like, yeah, that's pretty much what needed to happen to that bear that was in my dream or whatever. But yeah, not to sound harsh, but I had a dream. It was a bear on top of this tree. It looked like it was. I don't know where it came from, but and how it got up there. But definitely, if I had to say anything, um, it looked like it was kind of coming from the neighbor's yard that tries me when they try me or whatever. Um, but like I said, I don't know. It could have just appeared there on a tree, and it was just climbing up on the tree, maybe on some branches or whatever. And of course, bears cannot climb on branches like limbs and stuff like that without it breaking. So just a dream. and and I seen it. Me and him was standing in the backyard, and I seen it. And I looked up, and I was like, "Oh Lord, distraught or whatever." And I went on, made my way on around the house, and I came around the house, the side where I go um out at this point in time because they got the cameras and stuff up, which also of course triggered me. And I was coming to my front door and on the porch, me and my son, I was trying to get us in, get us to safety before the bear seen us or came towards us. And I don't know if the bear noticed us or not. I don't even know if the bear came around to the front. But I know I seen it in the back, and I hurried to the front, and I came to the door, and the screen door was just, the screen door was there. The front door was, the big door was open, but the storm or screen door, whatever people call it, was locked. And my other son was standing in the house, and it looked like present day for him, but for me, it looked like when I had before I cut my hair. And I was like, open the door. I was standing there. I was like, unlock the door. We need to get in. And he just kind of like hesitated for a minute or stood there. And he's like, and then I think he finally opened it. But it just took him a little longer. I'm like, what the heck? And why? And me just feeling naturally like, why is my door locked anyway when I'm out here, boy? So that's how I feel or whatever. But let me go to even just look at stuff about a bear because I seen it earlier. Let's see. This is animal symbols in your dreams. So bear symbolizes destroyer of evil men, destroyer, not of evil men. Okay, destroyer, evil men, danger, Russia, bear market, economic loss, judgment, anger, and bitterness focused on past hurtful situations, living in defeat. And that's they reference 2 Samuel 17:8. Let's see about another one. Oh shoot, it's trying to act crazy. Don't act crazy on me. Let's see. So that was that. That was interesting.
And then of course the bear was in a tree, so of course the bear was in a high place, and that's what wickedness in high places, or danger, and let's just say danger in high places, potential danger in high places, whatever. It was daytime, it wasn't nighttime. Um, I'll just say something else. This next one might still say even like the same thing. 140. What's it at? Hold on. Okay, number one was that, but I just read 130. 143, 216. Mm, okay, this is creatures great. Um, Dream symbols, of course, evil men, danger, Russia, bear market, judgment, anger, and bitterness, focused on past hurtful situations, living in defeat, fierce fighters. See that part. Remove yourself from any further entanglement. Hallelujah. That's what I would love, you know what I'm saying? And if in the event that it was coming from that yard, it will be no more entanglement. It will be no more, that would let me know. Do not mingle with them. Do not, my heart may say, hey, I want to do, no. Ignore issues through hibernation. Now that part, that right there sound like me a little bit overwhelmingly, and then it cut off. So I don't know. Okay, so that was 440. Let's see if it has anything else from here about Mr. Bear. Speaking of Bear, I was dating or talking to or whatever this guy who, back in the day, who considered himself, well, his nickname, whatever it was. Um, Again, we see evil men, danger, Russia, bear market, financial ruin, judgment, anger, and bitterness. And no, we don't need no financial ruin. Anger and bitterness, focus on past hurtful situations, living in defeat. That is pretty much the same stuff. Well, I tell you, let me just go look at tree real quick. In the tree represents someone with far-reaching leadership abilities and strength. Tree of life is Jesus. Tree of knowledge of good and evil. Fruitfulness. Olive tree represents an anointing leaf. So, leadership. So yeah. So there was up high, and I just had a feeling that it was gonna come down, and whatever. And like I said, it looked like it was coming from that direction. I don't know, but anyway, and then so for the alignment part of it, my son, when I was like, oh, I had a dream with a bear in it last night, and I was like, well, do you want to share it? He was like, no, I don't want to share it, but I just want to. I just mentioned it because you talked about yours. And I'm like, maybe that has something to do with him opening the door or being hesitant or whatever. I don't know. Could hopefully, as long as my sons, my kids trust, for me, what I want for them to trust in the Lord, they will be led accordingly. They ain't themselves as bad as I want them to share and open up with me, and just want that one person or somebody that really will open up and be transparent with me. I'm not into forcing them. I'm into letting them trust God on what they want to share with me and stuff like that. Because, I feel I feel those same feelings too. Where no, I don't want to talk about that right now. It's not often for me because I don't mind sharing, but yeah, I'm the type that probably share definitely too much if there's such a thing. But that right there, so all that was triggering by just saying, um, of course, just thinking too how that again, I just keep saying the woman that carried me biologically, she had told me to like when me and his deceased mom was going back and forth, whatever, and then the lady pressed charges on me. She told me to go turn myself in, and then when I went down there, I said, well, I need some help with something regarding my children, and then her husband, which of course so-called stepdad or whatever, he joked or it might not even been a joke. It could have been serious. Oh, we just gonna give him a CPS or whatever, or they'll call CPS. I'm like, what? Wait, what? And so, you know what I'm saying? All of that, like that, I just don't like to be played with like that. I like, if you gonna help me, help. If not, then I don't got to do. If you don't want to help, and that's your way of trying to say you don't want to help, then whatever. Because it's almost like you need us and this, that, and the third, and me not thinking about it because I'm like, y'all are supposed to be the parentals and the older, supposed to be helping the younger generation. I didn't know y'all was trying to contribute to anything about hurting or harming the younger generation. But she was telling me to go turn myself in, and just hearing that resonate even the slightest with me, I just be feeling like I want to scream out, "You go turn yourself in!" Like, what type of stuff have you done? And you might not have so-called gotten caught, but you walking around like you're high and mighty. At the end of the day, you're the one that trained me. Like the ways that I am, you trained me, or either you allowed me to be around somebody that contributed to how I am. And so, and she's the one that will quickly say people are products of their environment and stuff like that. So, what does that tell you about me then? Or what does that tell you about the environment that I came out of? But anyway, so yeah, bunch of stuff, and I'm just asking God to heal me, and I'm just coming into agreement, receiving that word from my life that God will heal me from everything that's been triggering me. Of course, I do got to stuff that going to my daughter. I had that dream about her, I think yesterday, or maybe even this morning, and I'm just like, you know, I just don't want to deal with this type of stuff. And it was so much, man. It's like, please just let me be, just leave me alone, just, you know. Right, like devil stop trying to ride me, leave me alone, get away from me, and because I just feel like I've done mistakes you before, and then, you know what I'm saying, my life doesn't belong to you, but something be trying to convince me that it does, and I don't know, and then, I mean, it's up to me whether I want to come into agreement with that or whatever. I ain't gonna say, well, whatever, you come into agreement with that or not, and, I choose the latter, but it still be feeling like, or I'm gonna say this: when it happens, it tries to strongly convince me. That's what I do to correct myself and say, and I'm telling you, honey, and he really is cunning, and he knows how to make that thing convincing. Like, oh no, you don't belong to God, you ain't gonna never, whatever, whatever. But I truly believe that he can't pluck me out of God's hand. And it's either he ain't gonna separate me, or I'm saying, if that's the case or whatever, or I'm gonna remain. And I choose to remain, but it's not. It wasn't easier. I guess kind of like in the Garden of Eden, how they say, it was easy, everything was given to you, it was like euphoria, and then you made it difficult when you had to pour over land, you got to do this, and everything was given to you, it was right there. But now, you did something to affect that or whatever. And basically almost get that reneged or revoked. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and this is about 40 minutes home. I'm gonna be up out of here, but yeah, I'm back at a point again where it's like it's irritating to hear mention of their dad's name. Um, my sons keep asking for Robux on Roblox, and I'm just like, well, that one youngest one, he's like, can I just get $2 worth? Can I get this? And it's not that I can't afford it. I can. Now I don't want to get it because I feel like this is fake clothes y'all putting on fake characters, and well, we really can be investing. I don't know. This is not their mindset, but we really can be investing in real clothes if we need it, or real things that we can utilize. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at with that or whatever. But and yeah. Their dad ain't contributing no money. It's what It's going on, what's today? It's going on like 20 days, 21 days or something, 22 days, something like that. Since I last received something. And it's like, that's not good. So I don't appreciate that, don't like it. I don't like when that starts to happen. That's happened before to where when his mom was living, money started coming up short. I've seen him right now sharing his information, right now bank statement, you know what I'm saying? Somebody you giving somebody access to your information. So I don't know if that's going on again regarding that girl that he had been being with, laying up with, I don't know, whatever he considered about her, and whatever he wants that person. If that person is your wife, your spouse, or whatever, then they will have that access. And honestly, that was the access definitely that I was trying to get to be given to me and stuff like that. But I mean, you went on and gave me his debit card and stuff before, but then, like I said, he quickly like either reneged on me or like kind of back out of it, and it was like, damn. And didn't even give me a chance to even, have a deal breaker. Or if I did, if there was a deal breaker, you tell me that's it. You know what I'm saying? But and again, I loved that man like passionately, deeply, and I desired him. Like you could be with somebody and not even be desiring them. Like with my daughter's dad, I didn't really desire him. I wanted something from him just because he was there, yeah. But like I literally desired their dad. Um, and I wanted something from him. I'm not gonna sit here and front, but like I was really trying to adjust to him and love him and stuff like that. And I didn't feel like I was throwing away a lot of myself. I felt like I was being myself. Now I did feel like I was concealing myself to myself because like it ain't none of your business. Because I just feel like you're not gonna open me up and you out here because he was already doing. It wasn't even questionable things. He was beyond questionable. He was just still doing foul stuff. I was like, I can love you and I can forgive you, and he did the foulest stuff too. I could forgive him and I forgave him and all that. But like I ain't finna. And so yeah, now I just want that person that I could open all the way up to just be my complete and total self. Um, good, bad, indifferent, good, bad, in between. Accept me flaws and all, whatever the case may be. But it don't feel like I'm ever gonna get that. And like I said, it's a feeling that doesn't necessarily mean I will. That doesn't necessarily mean I won't. Um, And then, of course, these holidays. I'm loving that. Um, I'm loving that. People are starting to call it Friendsgiving instead of Thanksgiving, in which we still need to give thanks for Friendsgiving and stuff like that. Um, I got a response from somebody, but yeah, Friendsgiving, and just just kind of break away from the traditions and stuff like that. And of course, just me and my boys. I don't know what God can do. We've been invited to places in the past, and again, those neighbors that are churching with me now, I didn't sit down and ate with them. I didn't sit down and eat with the ones across the street, but she gave me a plate that one time. I think when I was pregnant with my second son. Um, we got plenty of food up in here, and I got plenty where I could, provide and help somebody out or whatever. But we don't. It's just us, and I'm not completely bothered by that. Now, I want my daughter here, of course, but I'm not completely bothered by that. I'm okay. Um, let me delete that stuff. But yeah, I'm not completely bothered. Oh yeah, that other case about the burns. Oh my goodness, the beyond the burns and right now. I'm not gonna go into details about that on here right now. I might even mention it already, but of course some stuff is triggering about that and just Lord leaving 8 kids behind and just looking like y'all living apart. I mean they might have really been living apart, but somebody broke down how you can file bankruptcy and still be having your money, as long as you know what I'm saying, you put it towards your LLC, your businesses or whatever, and just take the stuff out of your name, and just, oh my goodness, wow, like, you know, the devastation I think and almost feel of it all, but I don't know the details, but only God knows. Some people said that he was sleeping around with men and women, gave age, I don't know. And then there was just so much stuff. And then there's supposed to be third parties that are supposed to be involved. Oh my God, I went up to that jacuzzi this morning. It felt so good until it started getting cold. It went down to like 95 degrees. I'm like, nah, I need me a water. I want a water immersion tool, but I don't want to get electrocuted. I don't want to burn myself up, nothing like that, by not being careful. But I want my water to stay hot. But oh my goodness, and I tell you, that felt good, and just yeah, that whole situation got the burns. I ain't forgot about that Jalen Crooks girl who, was racist towards the other girl, and so much, just so much going on that if I wanted to keep up with all those things, it's just a lot. It's too much. And of course, the Wisconsin stuff, the parade, all of this, all of this. So, but I'm about to end right here because I'll keep talking, and I got somebody that reached out to me and that I might consider talking to. So I'm gonna see what's going on.